the process of Parliament. Because, Honorable Speaker, I am a product of a day secondary school, a mixed day secondary school. And I see brilliant students like this. I am sure that you have the next biggest leaders in this country, the best engineers, the best doctors, and the best lawyers. And also, Honorable Speaker, this shows the importance of National Government Constitutional Development Fund. When I became a member of Parliament, this school had only one Mabati classroom. And you go to that school now, they have story buildings, they have labs, and that is what has helped them to have as infrastructure almost as good as those that in the schools that NGCDFS, the schools like the one Honorable Millie Odhiambo went to, and therefore getting to post such excellent results. So congratulations, Molo Highway. We look forward to even better results this year, and welcome to Parliament. And if I may, Honorable Speaker, continue with my contribution on the ratification. Go ahead. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to support the ratification of the Constitutive Act of the African Union relating to the African Parliament, the PAP, Honorable Speaker. This ratification refers to the formal process in which member states of Pan-African Parliament approve and adopt the legal framework established in the establishment of the Pan-African Parliament. Honorable Speaker, the Pan-African Parliament is one of the organs of the African Union that is aimed at promoting peace, unity, democracy, good governance, human rights, and economic development. The protocol, Honorable Speaker, is properly constituted within the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. The protocol will advance, Honorable Speaker, the participation of African people in matters of governance. It will uphold democratic principles, protect human rights, and promote good governance across the African continent by joining the voice and listening to the voice of the African people and those of the African people in the diaspora. Honorable Speaker, Kenya stands to enjoy a plethora of benefits through the ratification of this protocol, which will include, among the following, Honorable Speaker, the demonstration of Kenya's commitment to democracy and the principle of achieving inclusivity and active citizen participation. Honorable Speaker, this ratification will make Kenya be able to contribute to the broader objectives of African integration, legislation, and forging of unity, Honorable Speaker. The protocol, Honorable Speaker, will also give Kenyan Parliament a voice and an influence in shaping the continental policies and initiatives. And number 4, Honorable Speaker, this active participation on the Pan-African Parliament would raise the Kenyan voice profile in the AU and also in the continental stage, Honorable Speaker. On this, it's a great privilege that you have one gentleman in the name of Honorable Raila Odinga, whom Kenya has funded to be the chairperson of African Union. And you're hoping that this will be a successful bid for Kenya, that Kenya will be a proud holder of the chairmanship of this particular individual, Honorable Speaker. And this would in a way show gratitude to the many years of fighting for multi-party democracy, for fighting for what you call ugatuzi. Honorable Speaker, when we were young people, we used to hear Raila Odinga talk about ugatuzi and majimbo, and we actually thought that ugatuzi was a very bad thing. We thought devolution was a very bad thing, that it would divide this country. But many years later, Honorable Speaker, after the enactment of the 2010 Constitution and the establishment of the 47 counties, we have seen development going towards the people. We have seen the people being involved in the way their government is being run. Honorable Speaker, I've had a privilege of traveling across this country, and it is sad when you go to some constituencies that have never seen any inch of a tarmac road. You go to a constituency that has less than 10% of power connectivity in that particular constituency, Honorable Speaker. And the hope is that this devolution that we fought for would cure these challenges, Honorable Speaker. And I'm hoping that our governors across the 47 counties, and it's great to see many governors who are working extremely hard and bringing a change in the counties, Honorable Speaker, would use this devolution to bring not just development to the people, but also bring the participation of the voice of the people in their governance, Honorable Speaker, to the lowest units of devolution, Honorable Speaker. You know, there is one a great Pan-Africanist who said that the habit of democracy must be learned by practice. The people must learn by experience how to govern themselves. That was one voice, a great Pan-African and socialist and a sociologist, Honorable Speaker. So I'm really hoping that this practice of the power of the people to govern themselves, both at the national forum and in the county forum, will bring out the best experience and give us the best leadership, and will also enable the electorate and the voters at the 5-year election cycle to evaluate their leaders from their words, from their development, and give us the best so that we can run this country and we can run this continent, and so that we can continue to become one continent called Africa, one people called Africa, and hopefully in future even have one nation called Africa. Some of the challenges, Honorable Speaker, that we face, for example, fluctuations in our currencies, is because we all have our small currencies. If you are in Busia, for you to cross over to Uganda, you can hardly use Kenya shillings to purchase something in Uganda. If you need to cross just next to the other border of Tanzania, you have to change your currency again to Tanzania shillings. Now, worst of all, especially when you're dealing with huge transactions, you have to change it to US dollars first, then convert it again to the local currency, Honorable Speaker. Our common market, you know, with such a huge population of Africa, we have such a huge market for products, but even despite us passing different protocols to allow free trade movement across Africa, we still face bureaucracies and many barriers to trade, Honorable Speaker. It's, until recently, even traveling to one of our African countries, South Africa, you needed to have a visa. But you're hoping that now this collaboration in both free movement of goods and free movement of people across the continent, hopefully the establishment of an African bank and the establishment of an African continent will make us to live even closer together as one people, the African people. Without a begs to support this certification, Honorable Speaker, and congratulate the Committee on Defense for doing such a brilliant job in this report, Honorable Speaker. And perhaps lastly, to comment on what my honorable friend from Marakwet said on public participation. Every piece of legislation that comes to this House has to go through public participation. But majority of times, despite publishing in local diaries, Honorable Speaker, in the website, even parties that are directly involved or will be directly affecting these decisions do not even send a memorandum to Parliament. And maybe perhaps is the time we revisited the public participation bill, I think that was introduced at the Senate, and give a criteria, because sometimes the language in which this legal framework in this legal language is put is not palatable for ordinary Kenyan. And maybe it's perhaps a high time we came up with a matrix of how to engage the public in these matters of public participation, so that this big concept like the ratification of the constitutive act of the Pan-African Union relating to the Pan-African Parliament can be in a language that would be more palatable to an ordinary Kenyan and make him be able to participate on its debate and legislation. Without a big support, Honorable Speaker.
Well said. I think you came prepared for the debate. The Honorable Member for Central Imenti. It's in the House. He spoke already. So the Honorable Member for Tharaka.